back in Russia, there's no emotions behind it.
We do have problems, but I mean,
Is it still the Soviet Union?
I guess it is.
There's not much difference.
How are you generally doing? How is the exchange going?
The first month is quite complicated for me because I faced some problems with Erasmus. They didn't manage to send me the money on time, so I have to wait for like 1 or 2 weeks. And then the second week, I have to do the task that I have to do for the courses. So I really have a huge backlog of homeworks from HSE. Like, for example, the Chinese thing. I think I have to write an entire notebook worth of homework.
Oh, so you do homework for HSC?
Yeah, because, like, for example, I'm doing the Chinese course, and UCL, even though they have a Chinese course, they won't provide it for free. They ask me to pay like £1,000 or something. So yeah.
Oh, so you don't take this class and just do it online with the HEC, or?
Yeah. I just do it online. Basically, I do the homework. I sent pictures to the teacher and see how she responded. I haven't sent any homeworks for the past, I think, month, or is it like 2 weeks? So yeah.
Okay. Besides from that, like, how do you like it? How are your classes?
Well, the classes are fine. Like, there's not much difference than in Russia, perhaps, other than it's much more egalitarian.
What do you mean?
I face a bit of a problem on how should I call the lecturer. Like, in Russia, obviously, it's easy. Like, Vladimir Vladimirovich, like that. Like, the first time I'm in the class, I'm not sure how to call the teacher. Like, I try to use, like, doctor or professor, which is, like, their title. And the entire class look at me weirdly, and they say, no, just call me by my first name.
Oh, that's cool. But do you consider it more difficult or something? How is it compared to HSC?
Actually, it's about the same, except that we have a lot more people who actually wants to debate stuff, something like that. That might be the biggest difference.
So more smarter people there.
It's not about smarter. Like, I'm sure there are a lot of Russian students who are as smart, if not smarter. It's just like they are much more eager to voice their criticism, so to speak.
Oh, that's interesting. Why do you think is that so?
Because their argument is basically the same. Like, their argument is the same kind of argument that students in Russia say in the tutorials, like, I'm sorry, in the seminars, but they just don't say it with passion. They just say it like, oh yeah, A said this, B said this, I think. Like, they like, back in Russia, usually they state it in a single tone. Like, there's no emotions behind it.
Okay.
In my class, like, they, like, seriously, they shout on each other. Like, it's crazy.
That's interesting.
But the arguments are the same. Like, it's not like Russian students are dumber or than British students. I think it's about the same.
And what about infrastructure? The housing, the dinings, the information, just how comfortable the, I don't know, location?
So about infrastructure.
Yeah.
Well, obviously UCL have much more infrastructure. Like, one of their extracurricular clubs here is actually a gliding club. And they have, I think, their own airfield base in Scotland, something like that. So they fly glider.
They fly?
Like, the things that are towed by airplane.
Oh, that's cool.
Like an airplane but without an engine.
Yeah.
Do you get it? Yeah, something like that.
Did you join it, or just you just know about it?
I just know about it because I tried to join, but last month the weather is so terrible, so they managed to really fly anything, though they went to several simulators. Yeah. So facilities-wise, they are much more better. They even have like a special room if you want to ask us questions about the university. It's located in the student center. Yeah. The student center is about half the size of that shopping mall behind Senaya Ploshchad.
Yeah.
So yeah, facilities-wise, they have much more facilities. Also, they record every single lecture, almost every single lecture. So if you didn't come to lecture, you can just like watch the lecture in the LMS, like their version of the LMS.
Yeah, that's good. Do you feel like you're representing HEC or Indonesia or Russia, or how do you feel about that?
I felt more like I'm representing a Russian university in some sense, because that's how they see me.
How you feel representing Russian what?
A Russian like a Russian universities in general.
Okay.
Like, that's how they see me for some reason.
Okay. So like you talk as if you're being a student from Russia, right?
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows about that. I mean, like, I'm an affiliate student, so
yeah.
Yeah, everybody knows that.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy that you represent Russian universities. You are a good person to do that.
Actually, sometimes from the lecturers, they're really, really funny. Like, so one of my lecturers was born in Leningrad, but then in her childhood, she moved to the UK. So basically, she studied in the UK. She went to a university in the UK, and her English is very, very British.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of the first questions she asked is like, "Do they still have PE in Russia?"
Yeah, we still do.
And when I told her, "Yeah, we still have that, and that's actually mandatory," and she basically burst out saying like, "Is it still the Soviet Union?"
I guess it is, since also we do have now a president running for eternity. But yeah, not speaking about that. Did they say anything bad about Russia? Like, did you have class on something related to Russian politics when you had to protect Russian government?
That's basically like 75% of my classes.
For example.
For example, when we touch the issue of Russian foreign policy objectives, and then they start to show the examples of Georgia, Ukraine, and also all the poisonings in the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah, like somehow it kind of pushed me to defend Russia for some reason. I don't know why, but okay.
Nice. Good boy.
Yeah, but the teacher memorized me because of that.
Okay.
Because like I have this like one guy who keeps pushing the Trump agenda, and I have like a second guy who keeps pushing the British agenda. So why not? Like I just need to fill in the gap, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, that sounds reasonable. Okay.
I wouldn't simply think that I'm a Stalinist, but anyway.
Yeah, I hope you're not.
Like seriously, I am forced to defend not only the Russian government but even Stalin at times. But anyway.
Yeah, well, of course. I mean, like, let's say I'm in a position like I don't support Russian government right now, but when back in the U.S., I was when they was speaking shit about Russia and how everything was bad. I was always there to say that, well, it's not that bad. We do have problems, but I mean, we still do have some things good. And they when they said about Soviet Union, they said that everything was the same. We didn't have different kind of cars, but we did. And like, so I had to say that. So I was protecting the Soviet Union, but I don't support Soviet Union. But it's just about the truth, about the facts. Yeah.
Really strange experiences of us for it.
Yeah. All right. So nice talking to you. See you in summer if we stay alive.